For generations, a college degree was pitched as the golden ticket to the American dream. It was a simple, powerful promise. Study hard, get your diploma, and a life of prosperity would surely follow. But for millions of Americans today, that promise lies in pieces, shattered by the weight of a debt they were told was a wise investment. The golden ticket has become a financial ball and chain, its promise of freedom replaced by the relentless, grinding reality of debt. This dream has twisted into a waking nightmare of six-figure balances and compounding interest, a debt that dictates careers, delays marriages, and puts the entire future on hold. Today, that national debt has tragically ballooned to $187 trillion, holding nearly 43 million Americans captive in a complex system they were told was their only path to a successful life. This is the story of how a system designed for opportunity ultimately built an inescapable trap. This story begins not with a crisis, but with a grand national ideal. Before the mid-20th century, federal student loans were a rarity, almost non-existent. That all changed with the anxieties of the Cold War. When the Soviet Union launched Sputnik in 1957, a wave of fear washed over America. The nation was falling behind. In response, Congress urgently passed the National Defense Education Act in 1958. This created the first major federal loan program, funneling students into critical fields like science, math, and engineering. The goal wasn't to create personal debt. It was a matter of national security, a way to win the space race. Then, in 1965, Lyndon B. Johnson's Higher Education Act aimed to swing the doors of college open to every American, regardless of their background. It established a vast system of federally guaranteed loans, effectively making the government a cosigner for an entire generation. It promised private banks that if a student couldn't pay, Uncle Sam would. With this assurance, the floodgates opened and college enrollment boomed. But this massive wave of easy money carried a hidden, dangerous undercurrent. With students now able to borrow more than ever, what was to stop colleges from charging more? As it turned out, not much at all. The cost of a college education began to explode, fueled by a perfect storm of factors. State funding for public universities began to dry up, forcing them to hike tuition to cover the shortfall, all while the operational costs of running a modern university climbed ever higher. But the biggest driver was arguably the financial aid system itself. This is best explained by the Bennett Hypothesis, which argues that when the government guarantees loans, it essentially gives colleges a blank check. If colleges know for certain that students can borrow more, they have every incentive to charge more. They began competing on lavish amenities, launching a costly arms race for luxurious dorms, state-of-the-art gyms, and gourmet dining halls, all driving the sticker price higher and higher. The numbers are simply shocking. Since 1980, the inflation-adjusted cost of a four-year degree has skyrocketed by over 200%, far outpacing the growth of the average family's income. The very tool designed to make college affordable helped make it astronomically expensive. A student loan seems simple on the surface, but the real trap isn't just the principal amount you borrow. It's the relentless engine of interest. For most federal loans, interest begins to accrue daily from the very moment the funds are dispersed. With subsidized loans, the government generously pays that interest while you're enrolled. But with the far more common unsubsidized loans, that accumulating interest is your responsibility from day one. If you don't make payments on it while you're still studying, it gets added to your principal balance the moment you graduate. This is called interest capitalization, and it's the precise point where the dreaded debt spiral begins. Imagine you borrow $30,000 for your degree. While you study, thousands in unpaid interest accumulates. When you graduate, that interest is capitalized, so your starting balance might actually be $35,000. From that point forward, you're no longer just paying interest on your loan, you're paying interest on the interest. This is how a manageable debt can grow substantially before you even earn your first professional paycheck. For many graduates, the debt keeps growing even as they faithfully make their monthly payments. This insidious process is called negative amortization. It's like trying to bail water out of a leaky boat in the middle of the ocean. If the leak lets in $200 of water, interest, each month, but you can only bail out $150, your payment, the boat is still slowly, inevitably filling up. For years, programs like forbearance allowed borrowers to pause payments, but interest never stopped growing in the background. Millions more enrolled in income-driven repayment, IDR, plans. These plans are a crucial lifeline, but if the calculated payment doesn't cover the full monthly interest charge, the loan balance continues to increase. This is the cruelest part of the trap. It's entirely possible to make payments every single month for a decade and still owe more than you originally borrowed. And for the millions of Americans with the debt, but no degree to show for it, the situation is even more devastating. They carry the full financial burden with none of the increased earning power that was supposed to make it all worthwhile. In this crisis, there is no single villain, but rather a sprawling system with fundamentally broken incentives. It's like a car designed by separate teams that never once spoke to each other. The government built a powerful engine of guaranteed money to boost enrollment and opportunity. The universities, in turn, built a luxurious, heavy frame with countless pricey features to attract those students. And the loan servicers, the private companies hired to manage it all, often provided confusing directions and poor customer service. Each player acted rationally based on their own narrow incentives. Universities secured a reliable stream of cash, the government successfully boosted enrollment numbers, and servicers got paid for managing the accounts. But nearly all of the immense financial risk fell squarely on the shoulders of the student, sitting alone in the driver's seat. This debt isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. It's a crushing weight, holding an entire generation back from the milestones of adult life. It directly dictates major life decisions, delaying homeownership and forcing people to seriously question if they can ever afford to start a family. Talented graduates are forced into jobs they dislike simply to keep up with payments, abandoning their true passions for public service, teaching, or the arts. The emotional toll is immense, leaving millions of people feeling trapped, ashamed, and hopeless over a decision they were told was a great investment in their future. The total federal debt is over $1.87 trillion, held by 43 million Americans. The average debt for a public university graduate is around $27,120 and $34,120 for private school grads, but millions owe far, far more, with personal balances stretching into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. As of mid-2026, the student loan crisis is more volatile and confusing than ever before. Following the difficult end of the pandemic-era payment pause, defaults have surged at an alarming rate. By July 2026, a record 9.5 million borrowers, roughly 1 in every 5, were officially in default on their loans, signaling a widespread, desperate struggle to manage payments. A whirlwind of chaotic policy changes has only added to the confusion. For borrowers, the system feels like a maze with constantly shifting walls. The Affordable Save Plan, a lifeline for many, was struck down by legal challenges and abruptly terminated in March 2026. Now, those millions of borrowers are being told to find a new, often more expensive repayment route. Those who don't navigate the complex process in time face being automatically moved to a standard plan, causing their monthly payments to skyrocket without warning. The system is a bewildering patchwork of rules, deadlines, and deep uncertainty, leaving borrowers in a state of perpetual anxiety. So, where do we possibly go from here? There are several potential paths forward, each with its own advocates and critics. One approach is to continue patching the existing system with new repayment plans and targeted, piecemeal forgiveness. Another involves a more fundamental redesign, one that would force colleges to finally share in the financial risk of their students' loans. A third, much bolder path calls for a systemic shift away from debt-based funding altogether, rethinking how America pays for higher education from the ground up. The central problem remains a stark and painful paradox. The system was built with the noble intention of giving students the key to the American dream, but it attached that key to a massive financial anchor they must now drag with them for decades. It was constructed with good intentions, but ultimately paved a road to a national crisis. This leaves an entire generation asking a painful and deeply personal question. If achieving the American dream requires a decades-long sentence of financial servitude, is it still a dream? What is your student loan story? Has it been a ladder to opportunity or a debilitating financial trap? Share your experience in the comments below. It's a critical conversation we all need to be a part of. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this.